Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So I'm really excited about this show. It was an Our Lady Peace show in Baltimore. So excited. The opener I had never heard of before. It was These People. And so the first song was pretty instrumentally heavy from the get-go, not in like a bad way. It just didn't get like a ton of variation throughout the song. So I felt like the music was just pretty consistent the whole way through. The second song, I really liked the quicker feel of the bass and guitar. I wasn't a huge fan of the word vibration for the bridge, which is actually pretty surprising because I feel like that would have been right up my alley, and for some reason it just like wasn't. Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason it just did not do it for me. For the third song, there was like at least feedback in every song up to the third or fourth song. After that, I didn't hear much feedback. But anyway, so for the third song, I really enjoyed the instrumentals, and there was definitely like a difference and a build-up between the verses and the chorus, so I at least appreciated that. Especially considering the first song, it seemed like there was no difference. For the fourth song, I really liked the first verse a lot. It almost had like more of a talky feel than a like song singing feel. Oh, sorry guys, I will turn my lights on so you can see my beautiful face. Just kidding. But yeah. So I liked the first verse a lot in that fourth song. And it was my favorite song so far in the set. After that, they told us that we were the best crowd, which, you know, it was Valentine's Day and on a Tuesday night, so I was like, there's just no way that we are excited enough, and it was pretty empty when they had first gone on. So I don't know how much I believe that. Later on it kind of comes back. We'll talk about it. I don't know. The sixth song? Fifth song was less instrumentally heavy during the verses, and I really liked that song a lot overall. Although I wasn't a huge fan of the lyrics in the chorus. They just like, I don't know, it was just like almost like they were trying hard to be like super edgy or like mind-blowing, like, oh whoa, that's like a crazy lyric, but it was just like kind of simple and not very like, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the lyrics in the chorus. But I still liked the song. It's just that one little detail about it was not my favorite. So then they played a new song. Definitely less instrumentally heavy start. I really liked the song, and I really liked the chorus. I thought there was a really good build up to the bridge as well, so I really liked that. After that, the lead singer asked the bassist a question and then was like immediately, like before the bassist could even like get to the mic, he was like, oh, don't talk back to me. So I thought that was like kind of like a funny like back and forth. Again, I wonder if they do that every night. At some point he like asks the bassist a question knowing that the bassist isn't going to answer. The next song started with a very screechy guitar at the beginning, like that, you know, like cliche rock screech. And then it had a really like instrumentally heavy intro, which they cut back when the lyrics kicked in, so I really enjoyed that. I liked that it was like a lot of instruments at first, and then it kind of cut back, and then I really enjoyed the instrumental bridge for that song as well. And then for the last song, there was an instrumental transition, like while the lead singer was tuning his guitar. Also played a new song. I want to say it was called Is the End the End? I don't know. It was really difficult to understand. Like, he said at least 3 of the song titles, and I understood 0 of them. I got like tidbits here and there, but I wasn't really sure. But yeah, so overall it was a slower start, less instrumentally heavy. For the first part, the guitarist like went nuts in this song. So that was pretty cool. Really liked the chorus, and then had like a massive instrumental outro, which I really liked. So I really liked that last song. I thought it was really well done. Also, it's exciting to see kind of what comes that song in particular, because that was like a new song, and he did talk about, you know, them making it and stuff, so it was just definitely interesting. So I'm excited to see what happens. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that Our Lady Peace was coming to Baltimore, of course I was excited, but I also was a little bit like, just because, only because I know they just came out with Spiritual Machines. They did do a Spiritual Machines tour, but they didn't do like an extensive tour for that particular album. So I assumed that this was going to be a lot of Spiritual Machines too. So again, like the album, but I was like, do I really want to go see an album that I'm not like overly familiar with? So just keep that in mind. All right. Anyway, so there was a screen that came on, like a thin vertical screen that came on, and there was a woman, and she introduced herself as an IA, and she introduced the show, which again, not surprising for Spiritual Machines too. But what was surprising is they went old school and did just Spiritual Machines with a RK instead of like the newer one. I really thought they were going to open with the opener for that album, and then they were going to play the first song off the album. So I was pleasantly surprised when that didn't happen, because I was like, wait a minute, this might not be exactly what I was thinking that it was. So they began with instruments. They came onto the stage, except for the lead singer. And then when he came out, they sang The Message, which is a song off their new album. And I really like that song, so I was excited to see it. Really loved the contrast between the chorus and the verses. And I really liked the guitar part at the end, so I thought that was really well done. I thought that was a good first choice, especially considering technically second choice. But I really thought they were going to start with like just the first, they were just going to play that RK thing at the beginning and then do the song, but I was surprised that they played a different RK thing at the beginning and then went into The Message. So I liked that. After that, they played One Man Army, which again was not expecting that to be the second song of the set list. He used the megaphone at the beginning of the song. So many subtle pacing changes throughout the song. It was fantastic. Definitely made huge changes to the bridge. So great. Just it was so good. I was so glad that I went. Then he said that they don't think they've ever done a show in Baltimore with them just like the headliners, which I thought was interesting. And then proceeded to say like, yeah, you guys are like all losers. We are, like he included themselves, like we're all losers because we're here on Valentine's Day. So I appreciate that. Thank you for acknowledging. All right, so then they did, again, Spiritual Machines, RK. I was so surprised that they didn't do any new, they hadn't done any new RK up to that point. And then they did In Repair, lots of pace changes in the first verse, changed the chorus in different places. Oh my gosh, the choruses were so good. The first chorus definitely had subtle changes the first time. Second chorus had these like giant, massive changes in different spots, like words were being held, pacing was being changed. It was just so fantastic. And then right after that, they went into Superman's Dead, changes in the chorus, and then a lot in the second verse. I didn't notice them as much in the first verse, but I definitely could notice them in the second verse, and I actually like really loved the changes. Oh my gosh, they were so fantastic. And then like right like before the end, he stopped and asked if we were with him, and they let us sing part of the chorus, and then came back in full, so that was pretty cool. Like literally stopped the song to ask, and I was like, oh, the song's over. No, it wasn't. It was great. I'm really glad that they came back to it. So that was cool. After that, they played Life. They let the crowd sing part of the first verse. Fewer subtle changes throughout the song, but the ones that were there were great, and it was just, it's Life, so it was so good. After that, they played Innocent, changed the second verse a lot, such a great change, especially because there weren't a lot of changes in the first verse. progression of the show was just so fantastic. Like, great, more popular hits that were like energy match wise. Like, they just did a really great job. There weren't any like random interruptions in terms of just like the flow. It really worked. So then after Innocent, the screen came back on with a different woman. And then after that, Criswell came on and he started talking about technology and where we're leading in the future. Then they played Potato Girl. Whew. And they let the crowd sing the first part of the chorus. Definitely made changes to the second verse, pacing wise, fantastic, really good song. After that, he stopped to talk about Criswell, and someone was like shouting Singularity, and he was like, dude, I'm gonna get there, like, don't like mess me up. So that was pretty funny. Then after that, they played Is Anybody Home? Oh, subtle changes in the first verse. Crowd sang the first chorus and the second chorus. Just so fantastic. Really, really love that song. Just so good. After that, they played Drop Me in the Water, which made pacing changes in the verse and some in the chorus. Major pace change in the bridge, and then they had an extended instrumental ending, which I really liked. I also thought okay, so I'm actually just going to go to the next one and then I'll tell you what I thought. Alright, so then they came on and the screen came back on with the QR code for this song. And so apparently they're never going to release it. They're just letting the people who go to their shows have it, download it for free. And so it was called Neurosis. It was a B-side from Spiritual Machines 2. Really great follow-up to Drop Me in the Water, because here's why. Here's my thought process. Right, so they played Potato Girl. They played Is Anybody Home, which like is a pretty big one. Then they played Drop Me in the Water, which is big, but it wasn't as big. And then they played this new song, and so I thought it was just like a good, like, it didn't, if they had played it in between that Superman's Dead and Innocent, like that whole run of songs, or One Man Army and Innocent, I feel like it just would have been out of place. So I like that they kind of knew that, like, okay, Drop Me in the Water is popular, but it wasn't as big as these like songs, and so we're not going to interrupt that stream, and we're just going to like put it there. So I thought that was a really good choice. Anyway, so for that song, Neurosis, I actually really liked it. Loved the lyrics in the pre-chorus and loved the bass throughout. Thought it was really good. So yeah, I'm excited about that song. After that, they played Stop Making Stupid People Famous. Again, another good follow-up, right? It's their hit on this thing, or it is their bigger hit off this album. But again, it's like less well-known because it just hasn't been out as long and people haven't like totally gone crazy over it. So yeah, so it was really fun to see live. Oh, and so there's the female vocals, and so she just like appeared on the screen, and so it was obviously a recording. So it was interesting because he couldn't really change it that much because, you know, the song had to match what she was doing and when she was singing. But I liked it. I thought it was well done, and again, it was cool to see live, so I was excited about that. I was looking forward to seeing that. Then after that, they played Wish You Well, which is, again, off Spiritual Machines 2, and honestly, the song I probably was least looking forward to seeing off of the album. I was like, oh, maybe they just won't play that one, but of course, that's the one they played. Slower start, but honestly, seeing it live, it was still good. You know, I think that it definitely enhanced how I feel about that song, but definitely would not have been my choice if I had gotten to choose. So yeah. Oh, and also it also like had a really weird vibe. Like right after it stopped making Stupid People Famous, right? That's like a really like more upbeat song, and then all of a sudden they're like playing this like slower song. So that I just, again, it wouldn't have been my choice. But after that, they played Naveed, so that was cool. Loved the instrumental open. Definitely loved the megaphone for the opening lyrics. Subtle changes in the second verse were fantastic, so really good to see that. And then I'm not gonna lie, guys, this next song totally caught me completely off guard. So they played All My Friends, which I really was not expecting to be played. So glad it was played. It's just like one song away from If You Believe, but it's okay. It was still good to see that song. Again, really wasn't expecting it. The guy with a guitar who didn't need an introduction, I'm assuming an old band member, appeared on the screen. So many pacing changes in the first verse. Loved the chorus. Just like, okay, so the first chorus he's saying in like a lower key than it is in the recording. So fantastic. And then the second chorus he went back to like what you would hear in the recording, that higher key, pitch, whatever. So fantastic. Really loved that change, especially the chord. Like, oh, it was just so fantastic. It was so good. Really caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting it. And then the changes were just so good. So I really liked that. After that, they played Clumsy. Okay, so they played Clumsy, and he said like Baltimore right before the pre-chorus or /chorus. Totally threw us off, and then like threw it to us to sing, and we were just like still cheering about the fact that he said Baltimore. It was a mess, but we did get a second and third chance, and I think we definitely stepped it up. So we were able to sing it the second chorus, and we definitely got it. So fun to see live. Really enjoyed that. It's Clumsy, guys. It's so good. And then they left the stage for the encore. They came back out, said Happy Valentine's Day. And then, okay, so this is like way back from the beginning when I said that these people said that we were like one of their best crowds. So Rain said when he came out that TJ, the singer from These People, was like, guys, he like came to my dressing room and they were like, dude, this crowd you're gonna love. And he was like, really? And so so maybe he was really telling the truth. I didn't think we were that enthusiastic, but maybe we were. I don't know. Anyway, so TJ from These People came on the stage. So we talked about recording a Beatles cover for the movie The Craft. And then they played the cover of Tomorrow. Instrumentally heavy from the beginning, so it was kind of hard to hear the lyrics. I think this unfortunately was the low of the set for me. Although I am surprised that they didn't play their newer cover that they just put out. But there was one point, like towards the middle, probably the bridge, where it wasn't so instrumentally powerful, and I actually like enjoyed that part the most of that song. But yeah, unfortunately, like it just, I don't know what it was. I think it was just because I really couldn't hear the lyrics because there was just so much instruments, which is fine. Like, again, not a bad thing. Just, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. That was not a cover. That was not like come back from an encore cover that I got down with, unfortunately. But then after that, they went into 4 a.m. That was definitely a good choice. They let the crowd sing the chorus, more changes in the second verse, and some were like really subtle, so it was really good. And when I mean more changes, I mean more than the first verse. So I'm sure there were subtle changes in the first verse, but the second one you could definitely hear them more. And again, they were just fantastic. So really loved seeing that song again. And then they had the ever epic long guitar intro for Starseed, which, just for the record, every time they start that intro, I know it's going to be Starseed. And I always think at the very beginning that it's Hope, and I get so excited. And then, like, 3 minutes into the extended intro, I'm like, this isn't Hope. This is definitely Starseed. So one day, Our Lady Peace, just play Hope instead. I would love that. Not that Starseed is bad, I just have seen it enough, but seeing Hope would be fantastic. Anyway, so so they had that long intro, which of course is an OLP like classic, so I knew that was coming. And then even once they kind of announced the song instrumentally, they had an extended instrumental intro. Really great energy for the song. wouldn't have been my personal choice to end the set with, but that's just because it's not my favorite song. So that's like not really it doesn't have anything to do with like vibe or song, like the song itself. It just has to do with the fact that I like that song, not my favorite. Great energy to end the show with. It was a good pick, just wouldn't have been my personal. But I also would have picked a weird set list to begin with, so I'm trying not to judge and hold any or dock any points for that. So, oh my gosh, let's talk about score. Oh, this is so tough. All right. See, it's so tough because these people, definitely not my favorite opener ever. So, like, unfortunately, gonna lose some points. This show overall is gonna lose points. I just honestly was so happy that Our Lady Peace played so many songs that weren't from their newer album. I wanted to see certain songs, so don't get me wrong, there was a level of like, I thought they were gonna play more from that, and I was hoping that this was gonna be the song. So I'm not saying that I didn't want to see them. Like Holes, is that what the song is called? I really wanted to see that song. They didn't play it. So yeah, so there were definitely songs off Spiritual Machines too that I would have enjoyed seeing. But I really didn't think they were going to play as many non-Spiritual Machines 2 songs as they played. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. I thought they did a really good job picking the order of the songs, and especially just letting those like bigger hits go back to back to back to back. Gosh. I mean, yeah, and then unfortunately tomorrow their cover was just a low point for me, and it was the encore opener, so that, like, oh man. Alright, so between these people, again, I liked towards the end of the set, couldn't really hear a lot of the lyrics in general because it was so instrumentally heavy at first, but then I think as they went on it kind of got less and less just about the instruments, so that made it easier to take in and listen to. Man, great beginning of the show. Really loved their song choices. Really was surprised and loved All My Friends, but again, if it was If You Believe, that would have been even better. Just kidding. Really not going to take points off for the fact that they didn't play If You Believe, so that doesn't go into my factor. Gosh, I'm going to give this one I'm going to give this one an 8.75. I was debating between 8.5 and 9, so I think I'm just going to go smack in the middle with an 8.75. Yeah, again, I think there were a lot of fantastic things. I mean, Our Lady Peace just really brought it. I really wasn't expecting there to be so many old and different. I mean, again, Potato Girl I've seen before, but I don't think they play it that often, so the fact that that kind of felt a little bit unique. And then All My Friends, I again only saw it one time, so like that was pretty awesome as well. So yeah, 8.75. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you go to that show? Were you there? Did you go to a different show? Did you want to go to the show? Yeah, so let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.